this is as far as I'm going. So, we bought the house right there, up there. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a line coming out. There's, you know, two lines. If you want to call it negative positive, okay. That came across to these two lines up here, which are now stapled down this. Those actually feed in through the attic up above all this. And across here, and if I lift up this screen, up there, there's a fuse box. And I mean an old two system, two breaker, or two fuses, fuse box, the old screw and fuses. And that fed all the old wiring in the garage. Now, what I had done was I tied it into a line coming in from underground. Now, I knew that I was going to be running new power underground from the house underground to here. So at the time, I said, you know what? All I need to do is run some wire and tie it into those two wires there that are already connected up in the attic, all right, to that box. So that's what's right there, by the way. Right there is the wire coming in underground from the house, feeding those two lines. They go up to there and in to the attic. Because I wanted to eliminate those overhead power lines, because I had a lot of stuff going on when we bought the house. And I had trucks coming in and out of the yard, and I just, those overhead lines weren't going to make it. And I knew, again, that I was going to be rewiring a lot of the garage. So I was going to be putting new underground wire in. Well, when I did that, there was an asphalt walkway there about 2.5, 3 feet wide. I power washed under it using a power washer and a pipe, 1-inch pipe. And well, 3/4 inch, and I was able to power wash underneath the asphalt, so I didn't have to dig up the walkway. And I got it done. Over here I dug up, and then I ran it under and put it into there, so that's where it's at. Now, a couple years later, when I started working on the garage, I decided I was going to run 6-3 underground cable, which is what I had done. Came off the fuse panel with a breaker panel with a 50 amp breaker, brought it down out underground, and by that time the asphalt was gone, underground, brought it up, which you're not seeing there because it actually goes up inside. So it goes underground and it goes up inside on the other side of that wall. And that is 6-3 underground cable. Now, here's where the problem lies. That cable, the first one I put in 2 years prior to that, which has now been 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. Well, we bought the house in 2000. We closed on it. When did we close on it? We closed on it in November 2005. Okay, so that's basically how long we put that in. I put that in 2006, somewhere around March or April. So that's been in there since 2006. And I don't think it's underground cable. So that could be the issue. Plus, I put it in a piece of conduit. However, the conduit on this side isn't sealed. Because again, it was going to be there just for till the end of the year or so. It went 2 years, but okay. So what I'm thinking is the original wire that I ran underground, which was temporary, is now submerged in underground conduit with water in it, and it's not underground cable, which makes it worse. Now, if it was underground cable, I would just run it underground and put a tape across the top of it, you know, foot above it or something. Because if anybody's digging, I don't want them to dig into it. I want them to get to the safety tape. You really don't want to put underground cable in a piece of small conduit because it wants the earth to radiate the heat from it. You know, and it's made from underground, so you don't have to worry about it. So the problem I think it lies in is that original wire that's under all that. And I can't dig that out of there until this thaws up. And then I'm going to disconnect all this. I'm going to crawl up in the attic and bring all this wire right up and in so I don't have to have all this coming down here. So, hey Bear, how you doing, buddy? Want to come in? Want a treat? You feel okay? Bear went for his checkup today. He's okay. He got all of his shots. However, I'm going in, buddy. They couldn't draw blood because Bear is not a mean dog. However, he will fight you. Not bite you, but fight you. And even with the three of us trying to hold him, I mean, he just gets out of the way. And when you're trying to get a needle into the vein, you can't have that. So what I'm going to do is give him a tranquilizer and take him next week so they can just draw his blood. Huh? Yeah, my buddy. You're my buddy. Yes, you are. You're Daddy's buddy. And they said you're a healthy and you're a good-looking boy. And you're 8 years old and you look so good for your age. Yes, you do. Yeah. So, all right. So that's the problem with the cable, I think.